Logicked. He's missing. I'm starting to worry.
Who's Logicked?
The guy with the top hat and the 3D glasses.
Oh, you mean that atheist YouTuber that you copied?
What? No.
Yeah, you're like the exact same thing, man. You're such a ripoff.
No, I'm a cartoon character. We're not even the same. We're totally different.
No, same thing.
So June's found another one.
So Ezet found another one. I'm a little late to the party on this one. Sue me, I've been away, then I was sick, then I was busy, but I have an awful lot to say about this video, and I think I'm the person who needs to say some of it, so even though I'm a bit late, I'm not just gonna let it slide.
The prophecy foretold of the day that all the Skeptic clones would amass and descend upon me, and all in one unified voice tell me why they are so much better than me, and why I'm the worst skeptic of them all. Despite the fact that I'm many times more popular than any of them.
Okay, what is this? Your second sentence? And I already have a problem. This could just be an ironic joke, right? You know, they say you're a bad skeptic, so you have your character, if you want to call it that, play dumb and rebut this claim about your poor skepticism with a logical fallacy, thus subverting expectations by exhibiting poor skepticism but with an implied wink at the audience. It could be that that's what you're going for, and since I like to be charitable, I'm going to assume that it was. But aside from nitpicking the delivery, which makes it kind of unclear, it really just comes across as an excuse to tell everyone, again, how enormously self-satisfied you are with your popularity. This is just going to become more and more apparent as we go along, and that's one reason that I wanted to respond to this video. It's the least important reason, and this alone wouldn't have prompted a video response since I'm used to seeing this stuff every time your name appears on my screen, but it's still a reason. I'm just not a huge fan of narcissism. Mostly, I just find it what you might call cringe. I find it embarrassing on behalf of the people who publicly flaunt the fact that they're afflicted by it. And when I hear it, it makes me want to encourage a little bit of modesty. I usually don't bother to do it because I just don't have any reason to, it doesn't serve any purpose. But when it comes to you, I've heard this completely unjustified bullshit from you enough times, and unfortunately my name has become closely enough associated with yours that I'd like to distance myself from you and from this kind of behavior from you by exposing its weak foundation.
Apparently this Skeptic clone has done a couple of videos about me, but I'm just gonna watch the one today.
Yeah, Skeptic clone. You keep saying that, and now you've got me curious. Who is this person, and how are they a Skeptic clone? Do they have a night avatar? Does it wear a suit? Do they employ a similar debunk and presentation style to yours? Do they have little skits with a demon and an angel? How close exactly does a channel need to be to yours to count as a Skeptic clone? Because I've seen a lot of accusations, and some of them really weren't that close.
You know, I have to give Armored Skeptic some credit for going after Black Pigeon Speaks. I have, and Lord knows it has been quite the annoying experience doing so.
Cool story, bro.
I can see you invested a lot of energy into refining your jokes. Whatever, okay, it's Nightmare Fuel. He's got a non-animated black and white skeleton avatar with headphones and a suit done in kind of a fake scratchboard style, I guess. It's original, done by a user by the name of Atheist Ghost for Nightmare Fuel. So the visuals don't match at all. Aside from the visuals, of all the YouTubers, I would say it's pretty obvious when you listen to him that his number one inspiration is Atheism is Unstoppable, not you. Now, your avatar is a copyrighted image of a helmet that you ripped off Google, another copyrighted image of a helmet that you ripped off Google, and your suit is another copyrighted image that you ripped off Google also. And hey, I'm not judging. I don't think anyone really cares where you stole your images from. Everybody does it to some extent. I mean, just most of us are smart enough not to use it as our branding image. But it's not exactly an original work of art, is it? Original being the key word. And more importantly, it's not remotely similar to Nightmare Fuel's look, unless you think suits make all things equal, even if one of those suits is a tuxedo and the other one isn't. Which personally I find a little bit insulting to the individuality of well-dressed men everywhere.
Remember who taught you to tie a fresh tie, wear a dope suit, and look super fly? Don't forget, that was me, you snot-nosed punk. I'm the master that taught you to properly debunk.
You don't need God or Christianity for morality. This is Atheism 101.
I'll just remember you said that for later, probably in my follow-up video about Christianity. Now, I'm going to skip a lot of this video because I'm not here to defend any of Nightmare Fuel's statements or to pick apart your responses to them unless they're relevant to one of my core points or just especially stupid. You two are welcome to squabble with each other about the rest, but I'm just not interested.
I really love the way that he's put our characters right next to each other. It really highlights just how unoriginal his character is.
Okay, I guess this is as good a time as any to really get into this. Get it out of the way way so we can concentrate on the more important stuff, which is also somehow the less satisfying stuff. So, I've already pointed out that there isn't any significant similarity between Nightmare Fuel's imagery and yours, and that his delivery clearly is not inspired by you, but by Atheism is Unstoppable. But since you brought up originality, let's talk about that. Here is a tweet from you from September 2016 identifying me as your primary inspiration. And hey, pal, that's okay. I'm happy that my examples inspired others to make anonymous suited skeptic avatars like mine. The more the merrier. And hey, it's not like I have some trademark on personality-based, comedy-laced dissections of creationists, right?
They call me Logic, king of the YouTube skeptic game. Since I showed up, nothing has been the same. Creationists, I set their asses up in flames. Muslims, I laid waste to all their claims.
But here's what bothers me. In this tweet, you go on to say, until Saint Rawman came along, I was the only cartoon/animated character in the skeptic community. You said this because you were calling Naked Ape a skeptic clone. Again, just for having an avatar with a suit. I was joking before, but maybe you really do think a suit makes all else equal. God damn. Now, I've been hearing you bitch about these supposed skeptic clones for years. As you say, since Saint Rawman. And that's interesting because I can think of several people just off the top of my head who were here before you and who should meet those criteria. But according to your claim, either they don't meet those criteria or they don't exist. Now, let's keep in mind that the first video that's still on your channel is from March 2014, although I think your real first video was in February 2014. So all of my examples are going to be from before then. Now, where do I even begin? Well, what do you say we start with the more anti-SJW crowd? They probably count as part of whatever this thing is that you're calling the skeptic community, right? So how about Micromedia?
Something happened. The file wasn't saved properly, and I basically lost last night's work, which, I mean, normally that doesn't bother me because I just figure that's fate's way of telling me that I was fucking it up and I should do it over.
Now granted, he didn't use that avatar very much, except in his intro, but there he is, using a cartoon avatar. Oh, silly me though, maybe you mean cartoon and animated. I mean, it's not like your Armored Skeptic avatar is animated. One frame every few seconds isn't really animation, but okay. What about Bane666AU?
But is the George Mason University statistic correct? Because 1 in 3 worldwide is still very bad, right? And after all, some websites had quoted 1 in 3 worldwide. Luckily the George Mason University stats had a citation.
I wonder what your objection might be to that. Don't like the robot voice? I know you've heard of these people. Okay, how about Jehovah God? He's actually seriously animated. Properly animated. Not your fake-ass shit that everyone seems convinced is animation for some reason. And hey, this guy even has a real voice.
Welcome to another edition of Ask God, where I answer the most frequently asked questions from stupid mortals. Let's get this over with.
But I guess, hey, you could argue whether he really counts as part of the skeptic community, right? He doesn't really debunk anything, he just makes satirical atheist points. Because, you know, that's a big difference. So I guess that objection would apply to Dark Matter 2525.
There will be mockers and scoffers following their own desires.
And?
And what?
That's supposed to mean something?
Saitan Atheist.
Oh my fucking God! I will name you the only thing I ever take in vain. That is the name of fucking logic, bitch!
Some grey bloke.
How do we know that God processes pain in the same way that we do? A God might not even have a central nervous system. And even if he did, surely he could just choose not to feel anything.
All of whom are fully animated cartoons too. But I guess none of them count, because reasons. And of course PW Swivel doesn't count. I mean, sure, yeah, he's an animated character who's definitely part of the skeptic community, making content with seriously presented arguments, not just satire. And he wears a suit, just like you later chose oh so originally to do. But he's not a cartoon. He's a picture of Frankenstein's monster, so clearly it's completely different.
No, those are still examples of the same singular definition.
Although, granted, Armored Skeptic isn't any more of a cartoon since he's just a photograph of a suit and a photograph of a helmet. Who else? I feel like I'm missing a really important example here. One who, more severely exposes the lack of originality that's hiding behind all that defensive posturing. But who am I thinking? Aha! Say, Greg. Everyone loves those cute little angel and demon characters of yours, right?
We finished the entire 2016 lineup. It's all ready to go. It's gonna be smart, informative, enlightening, hilarious, witty. Oh yeah, 2016 is coming up. Armoured Media.
How original. But say, pal, do you recall that collab I participated in right as the new year 2014 started? That one I made where I and 15 other channels all included promos of ourselves and then uploaded the compilation to each of our channels? I bet you do. You were watching me and probably a bunch of them back then. Well, do you remember this guy?
I, Gabe Angel, want to wish all of the true believers out there, mission accomplished.
That's John Smith. He's a fella who was operating for a good, I don't know, about 5 months before you came around? Yeah, a cartoon angel character with a suit and a halo. Huh, rings a bell.
2016 is coming up. Armoured Media.
Intriguing. Not damning, but intriguing. But how about this? A cartoon demon character in a red suit with a black shirt, red horns, and a lisp.
You think just because you work in the penthouse and I work in the basement that I don't have keys to the top floor offices, huh? Haven't you read Job? God and I have conversations all the time.
We finished the entire 2016 lineup. It's all ready to go.
Oh, Greg. You know, for someone who pisses and moans so fucking much about the originality of others, you sure haven't bothered to get much of your own. Oh, but right, it's not animated. Because your demon character is so animated. Bobbing up and down lazily. You know, just like that goofy shit I was doing for years before you came along.
What kind of eulogy was that, you douche?
So, there isn't much else to say about that, is there, man? You're not original in any of the ways you think you are, and I, for one, have known it for years and kept quiet. But at this point, you've allowed your Z-list internet fame to go to your head worse than I've ever seen it happen to anyone before, to the point of becoming completely delusional. And delusional is the nicest thing I can call this because my only choices are to question your sanity or your honesty. Oh, I just remembered. You remember when you tried to stop being a cartoon animated character and start being a filmed avatar like me? That was fun.
When I debunk a video, it woos atheist names. When I do a shout out, it sends channels off to fame. I wear this giant top hat to hold my enormous brain, and these 3D glasses, they put your style to shame.
Whatever, man. Go have fun being a Logic clone, and just keep on whining about all those despicable copycats of your revolutionary, unprecedented self. And as for me, I'll keep being totally original. See, I'm the first black-clothed, black-masked, filmed character in the Skeptic community. 100% original.
See, the problem with all you non-Christians and atheists, the problem is you might realize that God and Jesus loves you because he does love you. He loves you more than anything in the world. But you seem to think that just because he loves you, that he's just gonna, stop you from burning and crying and screaming and suffering in hell forever.
Fuck!
My rhymes are pivotal, yours remain typical. My style irresistible, yours is just pitiful. I'm breaking down an imbecile while you look at me quizzical. Stand down, knave, my victory is unequivocal.